Well, we nearly made it. Our tram, which is just parked here, took us to here. And the tram ain't going no further because of that over there. So we're going to get on the interwebs, find out where we are, and find out how far it is to get to where we want to go. Lost in Athens.
Leaving Kitnos today, and we're heading for mainland Greece.
Yeah, it's a big thing. You can't miss it. It's just over there. So even with or without an autopilot, we're bound to get there.
Yeah. So we're hoping for fair winds and calm seas, and off we go.
Yeah, almost our final push north, depending on what our plans are for the winter. And we have a plan that's in motion. We'll let you know about it as soon as we've confirmed it.
But in the meantime, we'll see you in Greece.
We will.
Mainland.
Yeah.
We had between 12 and 18 knots of wind on our passage and speeds between 5.2 and 6.4 knots along the way. And after just over 5 hours, we arrived at Sounion and anchored in sand in 4 metres with 36 metres of chain out. We were finally on the Greek mainland, overlooked by the Temple of Poseidon on the cliff on the edge of the bay.
Monday morning, just after first light, I was woken up by a banging and a clattering outside. Going up on deck, what did I see but the big red monster machine and the blokes at work building a new breakwater just off our starboard side.
Because we want to go to Athens to buy a couple of things and also see the Parthenon, we've decided that today's a good day to leave Sounion, where we stayed overnight last night, and go to Varkiza, which is much closer to Athens, and it will allow us to get public transport fairly easily. The weather's really nice, there's a light breeze, not too sure until we get around the headland what we're going to find, whether it's sailable on the nose or what have you. There's quite a few yachts around, there's about 10 yachts within visual distance, and a couple of tankers as well. It's quite a busy area, obviously, because Piraeus is just around the corner. It should take us about 3 hours, I think. It's about 15 nautical miles, so we'll see when we get there. We've arrived.
Yes, bang on time.
Yeah.
3 hours exactly.
Yep. And we did get a bit of sailing to start with, didn't we?
Yeah, but then the wind, when we came past the island, the wind was on the nose and sails away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, we looked at the forecast this morning and this was not meant to be happening here wind-wise, so you just never know what you're going to get, really. You can look at all the predictions you want, but the reality, what you see on the ground or on the sea, is what you've got to deal with.
So it's a westerly.
Yeah, it's coming from the west.
It's what, 20 knots?
About 20 knots, yeah.
Yeah. So we're in what, 4 metres, did you say that?
We are in 4 metres of water and it's a sandy bottom. And we've got 30 metres of chain out, which is 8 to 1. That's plenty.
Not going anywhere, are we?
Not going anywhere.
So I'm going to dive the anchor and Take my chances with the two.
Windsurfers.
Yeah, the windsurfers.
Oh yeah.
So I'll put something bright on.
Well, this is it. We've made it to mainland Greece. And
Yeah.
today we're going to go back in time.
To the Parthenon.
Yeah. We're going to catch a bus up to Athens itself.
Yeah.
And then we will find a way to the chandler we need to go visit. And then we'll find either a bus or a tram to take us to the Acropolis where the Parthenon exists.
It's so exciting.
It is.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we moored the dinghy at the dock there, and it's the wall is really high.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
That
Getting
was a
out,
lot of fun.
Getting back in is going to be fun as well.
Well, it's easy. You've got gravity working with you when you get back in.
That's true. Yeah.
Just jump.
Take all my bags off first.
Anyway, we've got to catch a number 122 bus.
Yep.
Which will whisk us to our destination.
Yes, so excited.
Yeah. We now have a Mantus 10mm chain hook. Sing the praises of Mantus. In Mantus we trust. So that's part one. Next bit is to do a 15-minute walk to the tram stop and take the tram to the Parthenon in Athens, mainland Greece. Wow. Well, we nearly made it. Our tram, which is just parked here, took us to here. And the tram ain't going no further because of that over there. I think they call that the end of the line. So we're going to get on the interwebs, find out where we are, and find out how far it is to get to where we want to go. Lost in Athens. We are currently strolling through the back streets of Athens. We've come across something and we want to know which of our viewers can tell us what they are. We do know what they are, but do you know what they are? Leave your answers in the comment section down below.
Yeah.
I think we found it. Crikey, all that scaffolding, they're probably still building it.
They've been working on it for 30 years.
Restoration, yeah.
And they reckon they've got another 30 years worth of work.
Wow. Onwards and upwards then. Not sure what time it is. Probably about 2 o'clock, maybe a bit more. But we finally arrived and we've got to climb up some more steps. Right, let's get in there. It's not as busy as we thought it was going to be. I guess it's coming to the end of the summer season.
I mean, when you look at all the ticket booths that are around, you can see that they're set up for thousands of people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're fortunate we've come when we have.
Yeah.
Getting the feeling we're
So
not allowed
it's-
to drink drinks inside.
So it's €20
Yeah,
a
no
ticket
drinks.
to see the Acropolis. And there are several other sites around. If you buy a €30 ticket, then you can go to all the other sites and that ticket is valid for 5 days. But really, we just want to see the Acropolis, not the other things. Well, contrary to what we read on the website, you can come in here with backpacks on. I think what you're not allowed to do is bring suitcases and large holdalls. But backpacks of our size are certainly okay.
Another thing, the polished marble on the path is really slippery, so just be aware of that when you choose your footwear.
So you can see where they're reconstructing these parts. just before we left the boat this morning, I was having a conversation in the chat section underneath one of our videos with Murray, who's a long-time subscriber and patron. And he was telling me that they built this with very good advanced mathematics. And one of the things they used to figure out how everything was going to be put together was the Fibonacci sequence. Go figure. No pun intended there, of course. Now, I don't know if you can see, but up there, I heard rumours that this is the inspiration that the creators of Lego got their idea for Lego making. It's not true, by the way, it's not true, I'm just joking. Here's what these Lego pieces look like close up. You see they've also got a slight angle to them. So if this block was actually flat, horizontal, then they would be slightly angled. Clever people, very clever people. I don't know if you can see, but all the way up there is a horse's head, and it looks perfectly like a horse's head. And the roof line used to go up to a V, into a point, and there was a frieze across the top of there. But a Tommy bloke called Elgin came along and stole them all. Less said about that the better. Just look at the detail here in this carving.
These columns were made in the Doric fashion, which means they've got very plain tops, and they also don't have any base stone at the bottom. Doric temples were built to look very much like the original wooden temples. Here's an example of an Ionic building with the scrolls at the top and the columns sitting on a base. So this building is slightly newer than the Parthenon. In order to make the columns look straight, they are actually very finely tapered because it gives an optical illusion of straight columns when you look from a distance. And apparently every single column is made uniquely, so even though they're made with individual parts, you couldn't sort of swap a couple of parts from one column with another one because they're all unique to each particular column. Isn't that amazing?
Clever people, very clever people.
What we're looking at here are actually copies of the caryatids, I believe that's what they're called. The columns carved like women that are holding up the roof of this little temple. And originally in the 19th century, Lord Elgin carried off the third from the west and also the column of the northeast corner. They've been replaced by copies. In fact, I believe all of them are now copies, so the others are in safe keeping. But Lord Elgin took those columns, and he also took a lot of the frieze from the Parthenon back to the UK, where they are now situated in the British Museum. And there's some contention as to whether the British Museum will send them back to Greece, because Greece wants them back. We'll see what happens.
Now that looks interesting. There's no plaque here to tell us what that is. There is a plaque just up ahead on the path here. Maybe that tells us what that is. But it's fascinating. The only problem here is the ground is so uneven and you're trying to look up at things, but you've got to keep an eye on where you're walking. We've been enlightened. St. Mary of the Cave. Unfortunately, we can't go in there, which is a shame, because looking at this picture or sketch, it would be fascinating. Time to go?
I think so. Let's been huge, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's well worth the money, and you know that you're paying towards the restoration.
We came, we saw, we walked. Now we've got to get back to the boat.
Yeah.
It should be
More walking.
more walking. And trying to find the right tram and the right bus.
Yeah, before it gets dark.
Yeah,
What an adventure, Paz.
it is.
Join us next week on Sailing ABC as we experience big winds at Varkiza, install our Mantus chain hook, and meet friends in the Evia Passage on the way to Porto Rafti. Like our vlogs? Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next week.